Thank you for joining us this morning. This is The Front Stretch, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs. Booking, prices, hours, and so much more. It's all located online at joeskarting.com. That's karting with a K. You can also give them a call, 712-256-5278. Boys, welcome back to the studio for another great edition of The Front Stretch. Now, you don't have to fake it. We recorded on Wednesday night. Everyone knows this by now. Andrew, welcome back. We missed you.
No, you didn't.
No, I did, because I had to do the entire show with him. I missed you.
Well, when it is on Sunday mornings like last week, Bud probably was sleeping.
Yes, I was.
I had to drag him out of bed yet again, which I would really appreciate if you would go to bed with clothes on. We've talked about this. I don't want to walk into your house and try to wake you up that way. I don't need to see that side of you.
Why are you walking into my bedroom?
You wouldn't answer your phone.
Freak.
Anyways, this show, Andrew's going to join us again, and we're going to break down what happened with him on 7 races in 7 days.
6. I
Six
didn't make
races.
it to the 7th one.
Uh-oh.
What in the world?
We'll find out in just a little bit. In turn 4, we're going to talk with Andrew in the infield report. We're going to talk NASCAR versus IMCA. I asked this about Bud a couple of weeks ago. What's the big difference? And you guys are going to break it down for me in turn 4. In turn 3, we're going to talk with Joe Koziski, your father himself. Father K is going to sit down as I-80 Speedway begins to gear up for the Silver Dollar Nationals coming up this weekend. You're not going to want to miss that conversation. It's a great little bit we got going there. And then in turn 2, the Fast 5, there's a lot of stories that have been going on in NASCAR this week. And we're going to have to speed right through them to make sure we can cover everything. But that's the Fast 5. Before we get to all of that, this is Turn 1, and it's brought to you by the Auto Connection in Lincoln. 21st and P Street, triple-digit temperatures, they're here.
Well, they were here.
They were here, and they're going to be back. I've heard July is going to be ungodly hot. We've seen it walking into July, and I think we're going to see it walking out of July. So make sure you get to the Auto Connection in 21st and P Street in Lincoln and let Kevin and all the great techs work on your cooling system, work on your AC, make sure everything is up to snuff on your car so you don't end up on the side of the road broken down. Give them a call, 402-4247-8200. You can also go online, autorepairlincolnne.com. Well, normally this is where we break down what happened in the previous race, but we already did that Sunday morning with Daytona 500 and, the best driver in the world winning.
Yep.
No, Kyle Busch didn't.
Pause for applaud.
Kyle Busch did not get it done.
Instead of doing that, we're going to talk about how you guys ran, not this recent Friday, but the Friday before. And, Andy, more importantly, I want to dive into exactly how you did on your big series of racing. How'd you do?
Well, you know what? It wasn't that bad at all. I really doing that racing a lot in a row really makes a driver. I mean, you could see by the end of the week, I was a very, very, very looked like a good racer. The first 2 days, I went down to Wichita, Kansas, ran 10th in the NCRA series. That's not a slump series. That's the guys that are running the Silver Dollar. I mean, the guys that I was running with, there are about 5 or 6 of them are going to be there, and they're going to be close to making it. A couple of the other cars are really just kind of filling, is what I like to call it. A lot of local guys that are
fillers.
Yeah,
yep.
and I mean, you need those.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a field filler if you think about it. I'm not one that's going to make a Silver Dollar. I'm just not there yet. So I ran 10th the first 2 days. The second day was Eden, Oklahoma. We trailed all the way back up, nice 7-hour drive in a camper, to Columbus, Nebraska. Won the first heat race of the year. I know it's not a big thing. You don't win money, but finally beat Kyle Burke, too. Pulled Kyle Burke actually in that heat. And then the feature completely slipped the setup there. We ain't even going to talk about that. The setup kind of stuff on that one.
Is that where the Facebook post stopped?
Well, that's when the phone broke. But yes,
I noticed that too.
I would have been pumped. I said, "Oh, look at that first heat race win of the year. Beat Kyle Burke and all these big dogs and the supers and everything." But so that one, yeah, we kind of screwed up. We thought the track was going to take rubber completely. And all it did was kept dust on it and sand at Columbus, and it didn't.
I heard it's an abrasive track.
You know what? It's not bad. It's pretty fun, actually. It could be a 2-3 lane track. That one was really only one, but it can be a very nice racetrack.
But it just came down to the fact that you had planned on it rubbering in.
I planned on it rubbering, and it didn't.
So just out of curiosity, what's the difference between the two setups?
Basically, I didn't tighten up the car.
Okay.
I kept it the way it was in the heat race. We were fast, but that was when it was muddy and heavy, and the rear end came around me the whole time. I had zero traction, basically, and I just kept slowly going backwards. Okay. Friday night, I-80, we won the heat race again. Beat Kyle Burke, Justin Zeitner, Leon, Bill Layton, beat a bunch of them in the heat. Felt really good. The feature, we were running third, and I had a left front hood pin come up. Now, go into the corner with your hood pin coming up. It sounds stupid easy, but, man, that really screws up the steering of the car. I couldn't believe it myself. I went in the corner. It's either I pushed or I about spun out. It was terribly out of control trying to drive.
Well, it's all in the aerodynamics on the front end of those late models.
It's like a parachute.
You just put a parachute on the front of that car.
So with 3 to go, we have a yellow flag, and I'm running 5th right now. And first top 5 super late model, I'm all pumped. The whole hood comes up. So I have to go all the way to the tail end of the field after I get my hood put back down with 3 to go. Got up to 15th. Not bad, I guess, for how strong the car was. The next night, I went to McCool. I ran double features there, so I guess I ran seven features in 6 nights.
There you go.
Got a 2nd in the crate. Got beat by that Jace Kaiser, who's terribly fast. Led 20 out of 25 laps. The supers, I broke on the first lap, which not common at all. I mean, it's one of those. And it wasn't even like our fault. We got the gears. They have 2 different gears. We had them upside down. We were doing too much stuff for 2 people, and they just got put in wrong. And it, no biggie. I didn't complain or yell at anybody over the deal. It's a screw up.
At least nothing got tore up.
Nothing got tore up there. The next night, ran 2nd in the heat, real strong in the supers in Lexington, Nebraska. The track was a joke. I'm going to say that right now, and if I get in trouble, I do. It was the worst racetrack I've been on in a long time. It was rough. They had us go out there first for the features, and they watered it. On a rough racetrack, they watered it and tried to pack it down with a big water truck, and it made it worse. You guys were talking about Denison. Jesse was at that track, and Jesse goes, this doesn't compare. Denison was a lot better that night that you guys they had
that we had the cushion.
Yes, this was everywhere you went was rough. Justin Zeitner ripped the rear end out of his car
I was
by track conditions.
Ask you, because on Justin's Facebook, it showed that something was wrong with the car, but he didn't go into details, so that must be what happened.
A lot of guys, I mean, we were bouncing probably 2 feet off the ground going through the corners. It was not fun, not very comfortable. Passing for 4th we had a caution, passing for 4th with 12 to go. A guy hits one of those holes. Not his fault at all. He gets sideways in front of me, and I kind of plugged him and wrecked the car. Pretty good, but we got it all back together then. But that was my 6-day swing, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I learned a lot. 2
things I want to ask you as a driver, because you brought it up. A lot of guys, regardless of what class we're racing in, you've seen the guys go, good Lord, Andrew, you're all excited because you won a heat race? Well, that heat race, when you actually win a heat race against guys like Kyle Burke and Justin Zeitner, does or does that not give you that much more confidence going into the feature? Because all of a sudden you feel like, you know you can wheel a car, but now you feel like, I can really do this. I can get it done.
Well, it was earlier this season. I didn't even make the first 2 shows in a weekly series in the super late models. I'm sitting there going, I'm only going to be a crate racer the rest of my life. I'm never going to be a super late model racer. Now, after winning that heat in Columbus, it was like, wow, these cars really aren't that bad. And I think it was honestly when I got 4th a couple weeks ago in the super late model series that I got that. And it was like after that, it just confidence has been building. And you saw at the beginning of the week, I'm running 10th to where I'm winning heats and starting up front and running up front. So, I mean, yeah, it really built a lot of confidence, and I had a lot of fun, and I think I'm going to be starting to get pretty tough here by the end of the season.
Yeah, I think you see that a lot in sports, is that confidence is
everything.
It's a brain
part.
game. Racing's a brain game.
It really is.
Yeah, you're not trying to outrace the competition. I mean, you are trying to outrace the competition in the track, but you're also trying to outrace yourself mentally.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to bring up, Andrew, and you mentioned this, the field fillers. A lot of times they've been called field fillers, field lice, whatever. But honestly, I don't care where you go, what track, what state, what sanction, what series, I don't care. But if it wasn't for the field fillers, we wouldn't have racing.
Oh, you bet. I mean, yeah, it was one of those. They had the first night they had 30 down there in Wichita. The second night they had 20 in Eden. But I mean, there was 10 of those guys that were kind of just weekly cars where it was like, yeah, I know I can beat them, but you know what? Some of those weekly guys ran in the top 5. I mean, the one night a guy finished 2 spots behind me. The next night he got 2nd.
When you go to like the Enid, Oklahoma, or Wichita, Kansas, and you're seeing really good, like the weekly guys that you're talking about that can run in the top 5, does that really help you as a driver? You go to I-80 or you go to McCool and you're so used to running different guys or the same guys, you know what their tendencies are. So when you go out of state and you're running these out of state guys, does that help develop you as a driver?
Well, yeah, because just like you said, it's a brain game. You don't go down there and go, unless Bloomquist pulls up next year or something, it's one of those, well, that guy, his car really doesn't look that fast. But then again, he could go out there and win the show. You have no idea if these guys are fast unless you really have raced against or seen them go. And it's like, and that's kind of how it was. I went down there and I go, well, I don't see these guys at a lot of big shows. They can't be too good. And I ran 10th. But, I mean, it's one of those where, yeah, you don't know who you're going to go up against, so you can go 100 miles an hour. You don't have to worry about, oh, Bill Layton's right there on the outside of me. I better watch it. Or Justin Zeitner,
you
Kyle
better.
Berg. You know what? I've been kicking Bill's butt lately, so you better
Really?
take it easy.
Really?
Well, it's been close. If I
Well,
don't
it's
lose
been-
a hood or fall out of a race, I'm beating him.
So that's what happened with Andrew. 7 races in 6 nights. Bud, how'd you race 2 Fridays ago? Would it be Friday the 10th?
Friday the
No,
10th.
not the 10th. It'd be the 6th.
Oh, the 6th. That Friday night at Crawford County, we ran pretty good. I think we finished third. I believe third in the heat race. Had another good run going there. We started 6th, I believe, in the feature. We were running pretty good, running right up there about top 5, top 6. Cody Hillgardner got into us. Nothing on intentional or on purpose, but he got into us in the bottom of 3 and 4. And it was weird because I knew somebody got into me, but it felt like a right rear tire went down, so the car was real squirrely, real loose, so I was backpedaling quite a bit. Caution came out a lap or 2 later, went down into the pit road, and I told my crew guys, I was like, is my right rear flat? They're like, no, but your right rear quarter panel is completely tucked up underneath, rubbing against it.
Yeah, you couldn't see much Joe's Karting on the side of that car.
No, so they actually ripped. I've never seen sheet metal do this. They ripped the sheet metal in half, the quarter panel, pulled it off that fast. And then I went back out there, and then the car came back to life pretty good. But I had to restart, way back there in the back, like 18th or 19th, and I raced my way back to 9th. But it was really awkward, So, we got another top 10 this year. That wasn't me. That was my crew guys. Every week I give props to those guys. The one thing that we're struggling with this year is Eagle Raceway. Bad. Really bad.
Are you saying you're having a tough time there, or the track's bad?
No, we're having a tough time there. The track's not bad.
I wanted to clarify for you because it kind of sounded like you were talking about the track was bad. So I just want to clarify.
No, the track's not bad. We're not running there very good. We missed a couple nights this year. And, I'm always the kind of guy, I'm competitive. I like to run for points. It kind of lets me know where I'm at against my competitors. Mm-hmm. But we've had some guys get into us, and then we had some issues Saturday night. Saturday night, we ran dead last in the heat race, which is not like typical me. And we went to the C feature, started way in the back of the C, was running away with the C feature, white flag lap. I went real high, jumped the cushion, spun the car in the marbles, and when I spun the tires, it got real loose coming off turn 4. And on that high bank of a track, it turned the car towards the infield, and I had to save it. Here comes first and second and third place right by me. And when we came back around for the checkered flag, I was running third, and had we had one more lap, we would have gotten it done. We would have transferred to the B and on to the A. But it just seems this year, Lady Luck is not on our side at Eagle Raceway, and so I think here for the next couple of weeks, we might not go to Eagle because I don't want to screw up anybody's. As fast as we are, and you've seen this, Dan. I don't want to ruin anybody's points chances. So I think what we're going to do on Saturday night, we might travel around and go to new tracks, see new faces, do like what Andrew did, go to Enid. Well, we're not going to Enid or Wichita, but to go out to new tracks, see some new people, some new faces. It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun to see. Make sure you post it on the Facebook page. Let everybody know where you're going.
Oh, absolutely.
So that way our fans over in that area can make sure to stop out at the local track and check you out.
I'll be at the track the 21st. ID Speedway.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, we're all going to be down there.
Yeah.
Are you going to be? You're not going to be racing, right?
Well, yeah, I am.
Oh, you are going to be racing.
I'm gonna be.
Is the 21st the Thursday race?
The 21st is a Saturday.
That's the Saturday race.
That's the main event.
What are you going to be racing?
Scott Bloomquist's car.
Oh, okay, yeah. I heard he was bringing a backup for a special driver. I didn't know it was you.
Well, no. Okay, let me clarify this. It's not the backup late model. He's bringing a specially handicapped golf cart so I can drive across the road to go get beer for him at the truck stop.
You know what? You'll still be driving for Scott Bloomquist, so
I'm
take it for
you.
what it's worth. Oh, boy. Make sure to head over to the Facebook page. Keep up to date. We'll keep you up to date with where we're racing at. I'm always every Friday night at Crawford County Speedway, and I want to put out this weekend, obviously, 5 days from now is going to be the big county fair down there in Denison. Southwest Iowa, southeast or eastern Nebraska. The county fairs are the biggest things that hit the area in a long time, and they're going to do figure 8 races, demolition derbies, RV derbies, and they're going to have some monster trucks in there. So make sure to head over to the Crawford County, Iowa Fair That's their Facebook page, and check out all their schedules. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to be doing announcing for the figure 8 races and the RV demos, and then they're going to have a 305. Right? Am I saying that right? 305 or 310?
I believe it's the 305 sprint cars.
Okay, 305 sprint cars are going to be down there for the county fair races on Friday night. So
one thing I got to mention for Crawford County Speedway real quick before we go to break is. Man, you talk about one of the top 10, if not one of the best track surfaces you could ever ask for at a racetrack.
That was beautiful Friday night. The 6th, obviously this is airing Sunday, so there's already been a Friday night that's happened, but I tell you what, for having the issues they had the week before, or was that 2 weeks ago?
Might have been 2 weeks ago when we had the big cushion up there.
The big cushion, I tell you what, that track was beautiful.
The officials came down in the pit meeting, and they said, and you don't see this a whole lot with track officials, but they actually said point blank, they did not mix words. We are sorry for the track conditions. What would have been 2 weeks ago, we're sorry about the big cushion that developed. We will not have that happen again, and some of the drivers like, yeah, talk is cheap. And I tell you what, that was one dry, slick, all about driver. It wasn't super dusty.
Yeah.
It started taking rubber on the bottom of the corners. It was a fun track.
I think what happened that week of the cushion was that it was so hot in Omaha. We talked about how when you left Omaha, it was 100 degrees.
106.
When we got to Denison, it was 84. There was a full 20-degree swing because 3 hours before that, a storm had rolled through to the north and had sucked all the humidity and all the hot air out of the area, and it was nice and cool. And they had anticipated the track to be much warmer, so they laid down a lot of water, which resulted in that cushion. This week, it actually stayed hot for the entire race, so they kept water in the track, and got it. They had to put thousands of gallons of water down on that track. I know I saw that water truck go by 12, 13 times.
I think this last race they actually put down less water.
Well,
but they put down the right amount. But they actually prepped the track because I went out there with a big old screwdriver and I dug down about 2 inches into the front straightaway. And some of the officials were asking me like, "Bud, what's it look like down underneath there?" It's like, "Oh, you go about an inch and a half down below the surface there, and it's dry and it's slick." In hot laps or hot laps, you're going to blow the slick mud crud off of it anyway. So. Yeah. But when the features and the heat races came around, and there was no hole in turn 4, if you remember that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was
absolutely
a good track. So good job to those guys. Good job to those guys getting back into it. Turn 2 is just around the corner. We're going to talk the Fast 5. This has been Turn 1, presented by the Auto Connection in Lincoln, 477-8200, or go online, autorepairlincoln.com. Get your car serviced and ready to go for summer. Pretty soon, guys, we're going to be talking about winterizing your car. That's nuts. I can't believe it's already halfway through the summertime, and racing season's 6-7 weeks left till the racing season starts to kind of
die down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's take a moment of silence for the racing season. This is the front stretch on AM 590 Omaha's ESPN Radio.